per 9000's game room.
Okay, so I'm soon to be on the receiving end of a Megadrive Mini, the good one, or a Mini Genesis Classic, depending upon where you are. And I figured I'd do one of those videos on what games to add to it. Or what games, to be honest, I'm going to add to it, which make it feel more like the Megadrive to me. You see, we all have our own memories, and we all view the machine in a certain way. The selection on there is pretty good. Sure, there's a few games I would have knocked off. I don't have much fondness for Eternal Champions. I think Virtua Fighter 2 is a waste of space. But other than that, I think the lineup's a pretty darn good lineup that covers a great deal of what makes the machine the great little console it was. I am surprised in some cases that there's not like Streets of Rage 1 and 3 as well as 2, but I'm going to stay away, I think, from sequels because it's obvious people have put them on. Okay, so here are my 10 games I would add to the Genesis or Sega Classic Mini in no particular order. Seems a bit weird to me that you've got Castle of Illusion and you've also got World of Illusion. Obviously Castle of Illusion's the Mickey Mouse platforming game, World of Illusion's Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. So what I think this is really missing that I played a lot as a kid is Quackshot. Now to me, Quackshot actually stands head and shoulders above Castle of Illusion. It's a great game. I love the fact that your Donald Duck is full of character. I like things that he does, like when he eats the chilies and he gets mad. But there's also the fact Huey, Dewey and Louie are in it, which kind of reminds me of the old cartoon show DuckTales. The game also plays great. Your main weapon's a plunger. You go around shooting things, picking stuff up. You get in your plane, you travel the world. You're after treasure. It's a great little story, great gameplay. One of them games that looks like a cartoon. And, you know, there's not enough love for Donald. And I think that game, classic, brilliant Mega Drive game that wasn't on another platform, deserves a place on here. Yeah, there might be some other platformers. It's not like the genre's underrepresented on this machine, but it was a very important genre for the Mega Drive. And to me, Quackshot was a huge part of my childhood, and I think it needs to go on there. For my next pick, I'm going to talk Splathouse 2. One reason, great game, love it. But the other thing is that the Mega Drive was always seen as the sort of console for adults. It had the more mature games than the Super Nintendo. Sega didn't mind flaunting the blood and guts to get sales and appealing to adults. And what appeals more in this way and shows this off better than a game where you baseball bat sort of monsters in half and onto the wall and giant slug monsters explode their guts all over the floor. The game's also challenging. It's pretty tough really, especially to complete it. Yeah, sure, anyone can get through a level or so, but it's a nice challenging game. It's very different to a lot of the stuff on here, and it kind of shows off the adult side of the Mega Drive, so I think it's a shoo-in, it should be put on. The following game, Game Ground, is one of those games that's been on loads of the Mega Drive collection type discs and stuff, but I love it. I just have really great memories of playing it as a kid, and it was something I'd show to my friends, be like, you don't have this on the SNES, and I think it especially works well in two-player. It's a nice cooperative two-player game that's not a walk-along beat-em-up. You know, you pick all the different guys up, you learn whose skills work best in what way, and you keep trying to get them through the next gate and survive. There's nothing else quite like it on this collection, so I think it deserves a place. The Mega Drive was also well known for getting like licenses to famous people. A lot of them were sporting, but here's one I'd stick on the Mega Drive Classic. A, because I really enjoy it, and B, because it's a crazy license. And that is Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I've reviewed this game before, you can find my review on the channel. It's weird, it's strange, it's not the best game in the world, it's good fun. I love the MIDI versions of Michael Jackson's songs. It's very good to pick up and play. And, you know, it just, to me, it speaks of that thing that Sega went at, caught in different celebrities. They went at trying to, like, prop the machine up with these names. It's like part of the machine's history to have this sort of game. Yeah, I'm fully aware that it wasn't going to get on the machine as a proper release, what with Michael Jackson's history and the recent Neverland documentary and that. But to me, it's a crazy, weird game that I love that will always be like part of what makes the Megadrive the Megadrive. So Shimon, get that on your machine. Yet another game I've reviewed in the past, which I think needs a place on the Megadrive Classic, Mercs 2. Overhead run and gun shooter, brilliant little game. I love the fact that the arcade mode's in there, and which obviously, you know, port of the arcade game, pretty decent port. There's an original mode which has a different story. You know, they played around with it. I've reviewed this, which you can check out. But yeah, it's a good shooter game, and it's something that I just consider quintessentially Megadrive. I suppose they could have got this on there originally because it's Capcom based, and there's another Capcom game on there in Street Fighter 2. But no, I'd add this. I just think it's very Megadrive flavoured. Something else to add, in my opinion, Ghostbusters. I think it's a bit of an undervalued gem. It's also quite expensive to pick up for the original hardware. It's a great little platform game. It's one of those rare instances where a movie license is pretty awesome. Cutesy graphics, pretty tough gameplay, and back then most of the Ghostbusters games were quite basic, and this nice little game. I think it really fits the system well. Because it's it's a good license, cracking game. Not enough people have played it. Get that on your Megadrive Classic. Get it on there and just see how amazing it is. I love your little chibi Ghostbusters, and it's a top quality game. One I'll probably properly review one day. Okay, next I would put on Buck Rogers. Great game. I've reviewed it twice, so you can watch those. There's not a great deal of need for me to go into it, but you know, it's this little RPG game where you can make your own characters. You take them on this space adventure. You meet different aliens, you get to fly your ship around, go to planets. It's a little bit like a 16-bit Mass Effect. People overlook it because the graphics are almost 8-bit, the music's very repetitive. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of gameplay there, and it's the sort of thing that you saw more of on the Megadrive than you did the SNES, and I think it shows some of the character of the machine. And it's just a game I'm never going to stop telling people to play, so get it on your system. The next game I'm going to suggest is Dragon's Fury. It's a great little pinball game. At first, I didn't think it'd be that great a game when I saw it, because it's like sort of one table. And I'd seen things like Pinball Fantasies and that were multiple tables, but this table has a bottom layer, a middle layer, a top layer, and it's just got a great theme. It's got this like horror theme. A face in the middle that slowly becomes more lizard-like, and when you get in bonus areas there is little mini bonus tables, and it's just got awesome everything, awesome music, also awesome gameplay. It controls brilliantly. It's a pinball game that I know people that don't even really like pinball games, but they used to play the living heck out of it on the Megadrive, and it, in my opinion at least, puts Sonic Spinball, which is on the system, to shame. This should go on the machine. Cracking game, brilliant ball physics. It's got that one more go appeal to it. You just want to keep trying to get a higher score. And you also want to see what happens when you get different things. It's great when you see the woman's face change, and it's just, to me, this is like one of the best pinball games that has ever been on a console, and it wants to go on there. It needs to go on there. Great game. But sure, I'll probably fully review it one day, because it's something I really love again. Then I'm going to recommend King's Bounty. Yeah, it's another one of those games that's got a huge world to it. Very much in the vein of Buck Rogers. When you look at it, graphics are very basic. You need a level of imagination there yourself to sort of fill in the blanks. It's not a game you'd take people to and go, oh look at this, oh on the Megadrive look great. So it gets kept on the back burner a bit. But I think it shows, because basically it was a PC game that was ported. I think it shows that the Megadrive could do more. It wasn't just an arcadey shooty machine. I think this shows like a whole side of the machine's personality. You go around, you build an army, you're defending, attacking, and it's one of those games where the objective you're trying to find is moved every time you play it, so it's got more or less infinite replayability. If you want to know more about it, I've reviewed it in the past, go back and have a look, but I think, this is another one that shows some of the varied character of the Megadrive. So get it on your machine. The following game, Alien Storm. Yeah, I've reviewed it. I'm always banging on about it. I've wrote about it on the blog. It is the alien sci-fi version of Golden Axe, really. But to me, it's better than Golden Axe because it has more variety in the gameplay. They've thrown in some running, shooting stuff. They've thrown in some shooting gallery bits. I love the characters. I love the fact that it sort of throws back to your 50s sci-fi films. And it's an incredibly enjoyable game to play. And I think it's so overlooked. To me, it deserves a sequel, which, blooming long time coming. But it also deserves a lot more attention. And, it's been on a lot of the Mega Drive collections. And I think it has been because it screams Mega Drive. This is something that is incredibly Mega Drive down to its core. And if you're going to add something to the machine, this to me is one of the prime things you should add. Get it on there. Okay, so the next game I'm going to say I'd chuck on is a game called Duel Master. It's an action-adventure game where you basically travel around trying to find these magical rings, and you put them on your fingers in different combinations to get different powers. Great little game. I love playing around with the rings as you collect them. Shooting fireballs and ice daggers. It's one of the games that seems really hard at first, but you can learn the enemy patterns and you get better and better at it with every play. And it's something I played a lot as a kid. Don't think that many people know it, but give it a try. Chuck it on your Mega Drive Classic Mini. It's a great little Sega game. Go for it. And it's a game I've always meant to do a sort of full review of, but I've never got around to. You never know, maybe one day. It's not the best game in the world, but I have a fondness for it, and it just says Mega Drive to me. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to recommend, and that's eSWAT. eSWAT City Under Siege. And if you've played any of the Mega Drive collections, you'll have played this. You're a police officer. You're going around shooting people, and as the game progresses, you become more of a cyborg. Essentially, we're talking a sort of RoboCop scenario. It plays a lot like the Shinobi type games, but it's based off an arcade game. It's not exactly a port, there's different weapons and various things, but I think this is one of the ones that shows the sort of Sega Mega Drive arcade heritage. It's a fun game, and I think there's a place for it here. Right, I hope you like the little roundup I've selected. I've tried not to make them all too obvious or cram too much in the same style on there, because to me the Mega Drive was a very versatile machine, and I admit that a lot of these might be based off my own personal preferences and enjoyment, and I'm sure most of you that have had as much experience with the machine as I have could pick your own little selection that would, show your own take on what the Mega Drive was and what it meant to you. But I have to say, bravo to them for what's on there. There's a few titles that I think are a bit fluff in my opinion, but overall, a lot of it's solid gold. And when you compare it to other classic machines and how many titles were included, having 42 games out of the box, pretty good overall. I'm sure I'll talk more about the machine when I've actually got it, but for now that's Clear 9000 signing off, saying keep on gaming.